I've been shopping around for a dock for about a month, and the choices were endless, but it was hard to choose one. I found that a lot of the docks and hubs had mixed reviews, and the ones that had good reviews, they were either out of stock or price hiked. And some of the docks that I was considering didn't have the ports that I needed. But I think I have a winner here with the Plugable 5-in-1 Thunderbolt 4 hub. Let's check it out. So this hub is able to support two 4K displays at 60 Hz or one 8K display at 30 Hz. On the front here, we actually have one upstream Thunderbolt 4 port that gives 60 watts of power to the host. There's also a USB-A port with transfer speeds of 10 gigabytes per second. On the back, that's where the power goes. We also have three downstream Thunderbolt 4 ports with transfer speeds of 40 gigabytes a second and 15 watts of charging. In the box, you do also get a USB-C to HDMI adapter and of course the power brick adapter as well. So what do I like about this dock? I think the first thing you'll notice about this hub is how small it actually is. Here it is in my hand, and just for comparison, it's pretty tiny considering what it can do. Now with this form factor, it makes it easy to tuck it away, or if it's on your desk, it's not that noticeable. Another good thing about this hub is the powerful ports that it has. It's definitely versatile enough to power different types of desk setups. So this hub is actually powering my current setup, which is just one single ultra-wide display. And I also have a USB 3.0 hub connected directly to it. And that's powering my bookshelf speakers as well. So one thing I liked about this hub, and for you, probably any hub that you would get, is that it adds just so much more ports to your system. So right now I have it connected to my Mac Mini. So all I have connected to the back is just a Thunderbolt 4 cable and the power. I still have all the other ports available. So if I had more stuff on my setup, I could definitely take advantage of it. Compared to if I didn't have this hub, I may have to consider not plugging certain peripherals into my Mac Mini. It's currently outputting to my ultrawide monitor at 100 Hz at 1440p. And I know on the box it only says two 4K monitors at 60 Hz, but I just wanted to let you know that it does output to a higher refresh rate on a lower resolution. I also want to mention that this dock is able to charge my MacBook Pro 14-inch while I'm using it. I know I said it's a 60 watt charging hub. The MacBook Pro 14-inch has a 67 watt charger, but despite that, the Plugable 5-in-1 is still able to charge my MacBook Pro 14 all the way to 100, no matter what load the MacBook is experiencing. Or if I'm at 100% and it's plugged in, it keeps me topped up without losing its charge. I also like how it's basically just plug and play with any Mac device. So it worked right away when I plugged in my Mac Mini 2020 and my MacBook Pro 14-inch. Essentially, it's one cable to rule them all, and it removes any wire clutter that would have been there if I didn't have this hub. And I do like how it did come with the USB-C to HDMI adapter, pluggable. How sweet of you. I thought that was a nice little accessory that they added in there. And one thing to mention, it does come with a 2-year warranty. All right, let's talk about what I didn't like about the Plugable 5-in-1 Thunderbolt 4 hub. So one thing I have to mention is how hot it got depending on what you have plugged into it. So when I was powering my two monitors and all my peripherals, as well as charging my MacBook Pro, it got very hot to the touch. I think I got it clocked in at about 37 degrees Celsius just on the outside. I think it got this hot because it was also charging my MacBook while powering everything else. But when I have the same configuration and it's just plugged into my Mac Mini, I didn't experience that same heat. So it had to been the MacBook drawing all that power and causing the hub to get that hot. I've also seen some reviews online saying that their hub got hot as well, to the point that it would actually reset their whole system. For them, I think that's an issue of thermal throttling for sure. But personally, from the time I've purchased this, I haven't experienced any of that. Now this isn't a big con, but ideally, I think it would have been better if they had the USB-A port on the back, leaving only the upstream cable in the front of the dock. It would have made routing all the cable that much more easier. Now one thing you probably noticed by now is that this hub doesn't have an Ethernet port. Now I knew this when I brought this hub because my setup runs completely on Wi-Fi, so it works for me. But I can see that being a deal breaker for some of you. Now this is something you don't see in any of the pictures when you're buying this product, but it's the power brick adapter that comes with it. It's absolutely massive. Like, take a look at this size. I can see this being a burden if you needed this thing on the go. Now, would I recommend the Plugable 5-in-1 Thunderbolt 4 hub? I mean, it's a great choice if you need to add more ports to power your work from home setup. It also adds so much more convenience when all you need to do is just plug one cable in or unplug that cable when you're on the go. A hub like this is also good because it just cleans up any wire clutter that you would have had if you didn't have one. That one cable functionality is a game changer. It's also great if your monitor doesn't have a Thunderbolt connector. I know a lot of monitors out there now in the market are definitely including this feature, but if your monitor is like mine and it doesn't have one, a Thunderbolt 4 hub like this will make it that much easier. Overall, the Plugable 5-in-1 adds 5 powerful ports to your setup. Now, I wouldn't recommend this hub if you needed an Ethernet connection. It just simply doesn't have it. You could get an adapter and plug it in, but at that rate, you might just want to look at another Thunderbolt hub. Now, even though the hub itself is so small, the power brick is massive, which doesn't make it ideal for any portable setup. Let me know in the comments if you're looking at a Thunderbolt hub, or if you have one, what you're using. If you like this kind of content, definitely leave me a like, and thanks for watching.